Hi, my name is Dr. Gary Graham, and I want to thank you for joining us again for the 8th video of this educational series, where we will conclude our initial discussion on frequency biomodulation. First, I want to say that all manufacturers of low-level lasers do put some sort of pulsing mechanism into their low-level lasers. However, few know why it's necessary or what their function is, just that it's expected from all low-level laser therapy devices. So this video will be focused on why few manufacturers of low-level lasers spend any time or money engineering and building a low-level laser that is capable of producing quality pulsed frequencies. I have talked to many doctors that own a very expensive low-level laser tool that just sits in their closet because they're not quite sure how to use it, when to use it, or even why they need to use it. Low-level lasers should function like all other therapy devices and procedures that you use in your office. You, the doctor, diagnose your patient, determine what all the therapies your patient needs, then apply all the indicated therapy for that patient's health issues. Then, regardless of the therapies that you use, you will utilize them following the nationally accepted set standards for that therapy for that condition. This is how we were taught to practice. This is how we know that we are delivering the finest care possible to our patients. However, low-level laser therapy is one of the very few widely utilized forms of therapy that do not follow these same standards of care. Why is this? Because there are virtually no nationally accepted set standards of care for pulsed low-level laser therapy. Since there are no set standards, each manufacturer builds their own low-level laser tool and then creates their own therapy procedures based on their own standards of care for their low-level laser tool. Then they sell additional seminars to teach their clients how to use their tool following their procedures for each different health issue. This is another way of saying there are no nationally accepted set standards of care. So when a doctor decides that they want to incorporate low-level laser into their practice and begin taking seminars to learn how and when to utilize this therapy, they receive a tremendous amount of confusion and frustration as each different seminar that they attend, they receive different answers to the same questions. Plus, each different seminar they attend is committed to convincing them that the laser they are promoting at that seminar is the only one that works. It is no wonder that pulsed low-level laser therapy is still politically incorrect in the healthcare field and why most third-party payers are still reluctant to pay for those services. This is quite different than infrared laser therapy devices, as they do have set standards of care that are well accepted, and manufacturers of infrared therapy lasers build these set procedures into their devices. This makes the use of infrared laser therapy very simple and easy for doctors to utilize. We at Laser Pulsar System are attempting to begin establishing some form of standards for all pulsed low-level laser therapy devices. To do this, we must first educate the doctors and the public of what these therapies consist of and why they're important, which is the purpose of these educational videos. This allows the doctors and end users the option of knowing what level of therapeutic care they are purchasing. There are many reasons why most manufacturers do not attempt to engineer and build a low-level laser therapy device that is capable of delivering high range and precision pulse frequencies, so we will address them individually. First, and probably the most important reason, is that it is rare to find someone that believes the upper two frequency bands of the human body, which we previously discussed range from 40 to 120 gigahertz, even exist, much less wants to treat them. Even though there are many scientists around the world that do significant research in this field, in the U.S., it is still not a politically correct science in any healthcare field that I know of. This means that there is currently a relatively small market for this type of product, which means that no manufacturer is going to commit the time, money, and expense to create a product that the vast majority are not currently interested in purchasing. We know this to be true because as we begin to develop procedures to treat specific health issues with low-level laser therapy, there were no low-level lasers in the marketplace that would even begin to produce the frequencies required to treat those conditions. That forced it to change our direction and first find engineers and programmers that could create such a pulse low-level laser therapy device. This was a major component of our education in pulsed low-level laser therapy. Since we knew little about what we really needed, we began with building a low-level laser that could pulse each laser diode with therapeutic precision up through about 800,000 pulses per second. The therapeutic effects of this unit astounded us, but still fell short of what I felt was possible utilizing low-level laser therapy. With God's help, my team and I developed one pulse low-level laser device after another, each one with greater precision and range of pulse frequencies. This process helped us understand what range and precision of frequencies were effective in treating different types or levels of health conditions. Remember that just low-level laser therapy is based on the quality of the laser diodes themselves, which anyone can purchase. So most quality, or should I say ethical manufacturers of low-level lasers produce a high-quality low-level laser device which will produce all the therapeutic properties of photobiomodulation that we spoke of in the first 5 videos. However, due to the significant lack of understanding of pulse frequency biomodulation, there is no incentive to advance in this direction, at least not for a commercial manufacturing company. However, when a doctor that is sick and tired of hearing himself say to patients that there's no hope left, there is a greater incentive to find better ways of treating all health issues. I am totally blessed to be one of the doctors that specialize in natural energy medicine that has already brought back health to many individuals that were told there was no hope. It has been our experience that in order to produce any level of frequency biomodulation, we had to produce frequencies of therapeutic precision up through around 800,000 Hz. However, to make an instrument that was effective enough to be utilized in most doctors' offices as not only an adjunct to the doctor's hands, but also a quality physical therapy device, it should be able to produce therapeutically precise frequencies up through about 12 million Hz, which is where our current Laser Pulsar Mark III therapy system functions. Finally, and most difficult, what frequencies are required to correct and restore corrupted frequencies in the body? I have seen several lists of frequencies advertised as the master list of frequencies for all low-level lasers for thousands of conditions. These may be a decent starting place for some very low-quality pulse low-level lasers, but they're not the best frequencies for all low-level lasers for multiple reasons, including the following. First, every different device and every different computer chip and every different program has its own error rate, which means that just because you program into a laser a specific frequency, it can only produce a frequency that is the closest to that requested frequency that the laser is capable of producing. Or in simple terms, what you program in is never what comes out, and it is different for every laser model on the market, meaning that you will get totally different results with every different low-level laser model while using the exact same frequencies. Then, not only does every low-level laser model have a different level of precision, it also has a different capacity for its range of frequencies. Since the body functions at frequency ranges much higher than technology can produce, we have to utilize a lower octave of those frequencies that the body can still recognize or interpret as information. There are many different octaves of frequencies we can use, and the closer the octave is to the original frequency, the less interpretation the body has to perform to understand the information being delivered, which means that the closer the octave frequency is to the original body frequencies, the more information we can deliver, the faster that information can be delivered, and the more complex that information can be. So for the best therapeutic results for each individual low-level laser model, you need to utilize the highest octave your individual laser model is capable of producing to the original body frequencies. So to maximize the therapeutic effect of each laser model, you have to calculate the precision and range of your individual low-level laser and create a custom list of therapeutic frequencies for that individual model. And this can only be performed by the manufacturer of each laser model who knows all the specific engineering details which create the range and precision of frequencies that their specific laser can produce. This is why we at Laser Pulsar System create hundreds of the ideal therapeutic frequencies for each of our laser models and program them into our lasers so the user never has to worry about finding the best frequencies for any treatment program. Then, when you use multiple laser diodes, up to 4 at a time, each producing different frequencies, each one of these different frequencies not only has to resonate with the body's frequencies, but they also have to resonate with each other. Like musical notes, when played individually, they are pleasant to listen to. However, when using those same notes played together in a chord, not just any musical notes can be played together. They have to be the correct combination of notes that harmonize with each other into something greater than just a single note can produce. But when the wrong combination of notes are played together, it becomes just irritating noise, which means that when we create a frequency program, we must first find all the different frequencies required to treat that specific condition. Then place the correct frequencies together that resonate or enhance each other into groups. We call these groups of frequencies a frequency program. Then we combine multiple frequency programs to create a therapy program for any given health issue. Then we also have to determine where on the body that each of these frequency groups should be delivered and for how long to create a therapy program for any given health issue. This is just part of what it takes to develop a fully functioning therapy system that is able to address specific health issues. Now, if this sounds complicated, well, you're correct. And that's just a couple of reasons why manufacturers of low-level lasers not only do not manufacture lasers that can generate high-quality pulse frequency biomodulation, but also why they seldom go any further than just building simple low-level laser tools. Now, one last note on standards of care. If you go to a store to buy a simple baseball, you know exactly what you're purchasing because there are very specific standards for every baseball league and which balls they can utilize in each of those leagues. But when the only standards the manufacturer has to be concerned with is the quality of the manufacturing process itself, and no standards for the functional or therapeutic effectiveness, the purchaser has no idea what they're buying. For instance, a manufacturer can buy a red laser diode that is used in a typical laser pointer for just a few pennies. Or they can buy a high-precision 635 nanometer low-level laser diode with high-quality optics for around $100. The problem is that the user will never know the difference, as to the eye they look exactly the same. And there's also no way for the end user to know what the range or precision of pulse frequencies that the unit can produce because they're seldom if ever listed, and most manufacturers will not disclose that information. Of course, the cheap laser diode is usually worthless as a therapeutic device, and poor frequency generation could even be harmful, but the user will never know that the reason low-level laser therapy just does not work for them is because some manufacturer built a piece of junk and took advantage of them. Also, why would even a quality manufacturer that used the finest quality laser diodes and components spend time and money developing a therapy laser to produce high range and precision pulse frequencies when there are no set standards for what the range and precision of those frequencies should be? There's also no set standards for the different therapeutic qualities that each different range and precision of pulse frequencies have on the body, especially when most of the leading doctors in the industry say that as long as the laser just pulses, that's all that's necessary. To summarize this topic, the body is an extremely precise instrument, and there are different levels of precision in every low-level laser therapy unit, and each level of precision reflects on the level of therapeutic results they will produce. Any shortcuts or even mistakes in any component or programming of a pulsed low-level laser therapy unit will affect the quality of the therapy you are providing. And the end user has no way of judging the quality of that technology on their own because there are no standards that they can look at to determine what level of therapeutic quality that they are buying. And unfortunately, you can't use the price tag as an indicator of quality for any product, especially for a product that has no standards to live up to. Education and knowledge of the subject matter is the only protection a doctor or any consumer has of protecting himself from being victimized when purchasing any product, especially a product that is utilized for the health of their patients and even themselves. The goal of these educational videos is to educate the users of low-level laser therapy with enough information so they can make an educated decision when purchasing any pulsed low-level laser therapy device. So even though every owner and operator should know and understand how and why pulsed low-level laser therapy functions, that information should only be necessary when determining what therapeutic level of device they want to purchase. However, you should not need to know any of this information to operate and obtain the results that your low-level laser was designed to provide. That's because we believe that it's the manufacturer's, or in this case, our job, to create a complete therapy system that meets a standard of care for all of the proper frequencies, therapy programs, and protocols that the doctor needs to provide quality health care. Just like we believe it's the doctor's job to diagnose the needs of their patients and select the proper therapy for that health condition. After all, that's what's expected from every other therapeutic device. However, there are a few doctors that have the desire and ability to do further research into additional procedures and pulse frequencies. For those individuals, we designed into our pulse low-level laser units the ability to input and store up to 80 of their own frequency programs and up to 10 of their own therapy programs that can utilize up to 14 of their own custom frequency programs or any of our hundreds of proprietary frequencies that are already programmed into the device. And our research team is always available to assist any user in this endeavor. The subject of frequency therapy or frequency biomodulation will be revisited many times in later videos as they pertain to different subjects. In our next video, we will discuss the next major component of natural energy medicine, which is homeopathy. As always, for further questions or information about laser pulsar system therapy products or any information in any of these videos, please contact me, Dr. Gary Graham, or anyone at these contacts. I want to thank you again for your time.